going on, you guys? We are back with another video. Now, being a YouTuber for this many years, you get a lot of requests. Some of them foolish, some of them worthy of doing. And this is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. Some of you guys probably already know what's going on right now. But as a traveling walleye fisherman, do I enjoy going to big fish destinations, hunting, you know, low numbers, big bites? That's probably my favorite way to fish. The other thing I like doing is coming to like some of the most widely fished areas that can be tricky or challenging at times, and trying to dial a pattern in a short amount of time. Today we are down here on Lake Winnebago in southern Wisconsin. I'm going to call it, some of you guys are probably going to be like, it's like central Wisconsin. But for us northern Yankees, that's southern Wisconsin for us. But we're down here on the big, vast Lake Winnebago system. It is basically almost 4th of July. So we're kind of talking midsummer patterns. We have a very short amount of time to hopefully put a pattern together down here on some highly pressured, highly sought after walleyes. We're hoping to make it happen today. So we got a million different little ways to fish. It definitely seems like the kind of lake where you can jig, you can cast, you can troll spinners, you can troll cranks, you can troll shallow, you can troll deep. But there's a lot of water to fish. So it should be kind of a fun day. I always enjoy these kind of things where it's not necessarily a look at the 50 big fish we caught today, but more of a let's grind out some solid 15 to 20 inch fish over the course of the day and hopefully put something together. So that's kind of the plan. Stay with me. Hopefully some of you guys that always recommended this place are going to enjoy this video. We're going to hopefully make it happen, and stay along for the ride. Here's the deal, you guys. Giant lake, very flat. There's some structure. I've never even looked at a map of Lake Winnebago before, but after doing it now, the setup, big 18-foot basin. That's miles and miles and miles long. Then you have all these little shoals and reef-looking things. A couple of rivers coming in, kind of in, it looks like the west and north side of the lake. And generally this time of year, right? You can kind of put a pattern together. Generally, a lot of these fish, I'm sure, slowly work their way out of these rivers in the month of May. And then you have a spread out that starts to happen throughout the course of the middle of summer, throughout the mud on different pieces of structure. So in order to cut our learning curve down a little bit, we are going to start out trolling some crankbaits very fast. We're going to troll a few different kinds, some small shad bodies. This lake's known for a lot of these smaller walleyes overall. So we're going to troll a bunch of these Reef Runner 200s in basin, maybe bump into a piece of structure here or there, and some Reef Runner 600s, the little ripper right there. Some baits, we're gonna snap weight probably some of these down, and we're just gonna kind of cover that, I would say that 12 foot of water down to 18 foot of water down in mostly the basin, bumping into structure, and hope that we can kind of run into something. And if we do, then essentially what we're gonna do is potentially cast them. We'll see. This is all like, that would be like the dream video if something like that can happen, but we'll see. For right now, we're gonna get to trolling, drop some baits back, hopefully catch some fish. With rods set and lures in the water, the boys set out on their first day in Winnebago. Within minutes, the first church board drops back. As Tom notices the board drops back, he grabs the rod immediately. Pulling it in, he knew it was gonna be a big walleye, only to find out that Mitchell forgot to turn the audio on. While fighting the fish, Tom was extremely ecstatic, knowing that this was going to be his first Lake Winnebago walleye, and these bites may be hard to come by today. The fish bit a Reef Runner 600 ripstick high in the water column. I hope you have enjoyed this narration. Back to your video. All right, guys, well, it's come to my attention, or should I say Mitchell's attention. You know, it's a team effort, right? And when you're on a team, whether it's a sports team, a fishing team, each player has to, you know, it's not, there's no I in team, they always say, right? Each player has to hold up their end of the bargain of hard work, commitment, dedication, day in and day out. I just caught the first beautiful Lake Winnebago with a walleye today. I did my part. I've been busting tail out here for 5 minutes now of fishing. Mitchell says he doesn't have audio on it. So, you know, I'm not gonna say there's no iron team. I already said that once. I mean, I did my part, but unfortunately Mitchell let you guys down. But the good sign is I literally got set up and the first board went back on a 600 reef runner ripstick high in the water column. So that could potentially be our first sign of things to come. And hopefully Mitchell edited up a dope ass sequence of catching that fish. But we're on the board, baby. We got one fish on. Fish on, boys. Number 2. Far outside. I was just checking the rod. We're gonna have a lot of floating weeds today. There's like just a lot of floating junk really all over in the water column from just that huge storm a couple days ago. Actually, I can see this being one of those lakes where there's just always a bunch of crap floating in the water column. But here we go. Walleye number 2. Hopefully. Could it be a sheep's head? Could it be something else? It absolutely could. But could it be another walleye? It definitely could. You want to grab the board for me, camera guy? Sure. I honestly didn't even, when we left home for this trip, I wasn't even sure where we were going to be going. And I didn't even bring my normal routine of trolling rods. So I got one 11-foot outside lead core rod here. The snap weight coming at you, Mitchell. Grab that snap weight. All right, now we're right to the fish. Come here, buddy. He's on there, Mitchell. I think it honestly could be a walleye. It is. It's a nice walleye. Scoop him up, Mitchell. Scoop him up. Scoop him up. He's not big, but everyone counts today. Everyone counts today. There we go, baby. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, Mitchell, huh?
Here we go.
We're putting a pattern together, baby. You know, they said it. They said I didn't know how to troll. But, which I will agree. I'm a much better jig fisherman than I am at trolling. I've fished with a lot of people who are a lot better at trolling than me. This one came on 200 reef runner rip shad. Got some of these shad baits out, got some of these rip sticks out. There we go. I mean, for not being at it for very long, we got 2 keepers, Mitchell. And anytime you can come to a lake you've never been to before, and if you can like catch a legal limit of fish, which is like, I think out here it's 3 fish, right? I mean, we're in business, baby. Another nice 16-incher right there. And this is what we're after. This is the sought-after Winnebago walleye right here. What do you think of this lake so far?
I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Haven't formed an opinion yet.
Haven't formed an opinion yet?
Oop. Hitting buttons back here.
See you later, buddy. Back he goes. Back he goes. If we let him go, we'll get some good luck catching that elusive 23-incher.
That's right.
But anytime, there's multiple different ways you can formulate a pattern on crankbaits. One can simply be the depth and the speed in which you're going, right? And the fish are dumb and they just like to eat a bunch of things. The one that's most talked about is color, but arguably the one that I think plays the biggest factor is profile and action, a specific action. So anytime I'm trying to put together some kind of game plan, I'll have some of those banana style 600s out. I'll have some of these small shad bodied baits out, baits of this nature. And we're just gonna run a few different things to kind of see what they want. My guess is, like a lot of these basin fish, they're gonna fluctuate where they are in the water a lot. This was my highest rod on this side. So right now, this morning, it appears that the fish are not on the bottom of the lake. We're in 18 feet of water right now, weaving in and out of structure, and the baits that have caught fish have been 10 to 12 down. So that's an important thing to note as well. All right, boys, we are hooked up. Fish numero 3. 2 walleyes. No rough fish so far. How long can we keep that streak going?
Hopefully a long time.
It's gonna end right here. This was my farthest by the bottom baits. Everything I just said about potentially fish being up high could all change here. It's feeling like a nice fish. Get you popped off here, buddy. Got this down to a snap weight, down to a another 200 reef runner here. And I literally, since I didn't even know we were coming here, I didn't bring any of my snap weighting stuff. And we literally had to go to Shields last night, and I had to buy $50 of stuff, which I already got 100 of these stupid things in my garage. But, you know, when you're at Bago, you know, I ain't gonna not have the stuff that I need to have to get them.
It's looking like a walleye to me.
I don't know.
Don't jinx, don't.
It's only 20 feet back here.
Here, back up. I'll net it just in case. I'll get ready.
I'll net it.
All right.
This is a shorter rod. It's a walleye. It should be a decent fish here.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Don't turn into a sheeper. Oh, it's a real nice walleye, Mitchell. We're doing it, baby. We're doing it. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Mitchell, this is one we need.
No way, that's a real good one.
Just
you sure you don't want me to net it?
Tail hook, too. Come on, come on, come on. Right there. Oh, I'm having a good time. 20 plus?
Yeah,
No?
yeah, definitely.
I drop a waypoint there, just said I remember.
Right, 21, 22.
Oh man, that was the one that I wasn't sure if you're gonna get today. I got no idea what the deal is out here. All I know is that a lot of the fish that people catch out here are obviously relatively not very big. And if you can kind of get some of these 20-inch fish, I mean, you're just 100% in business, son. That's a nice one right there. This is my biggest Winnebago walleye so far. That is awesome, Mitchell. You liking it?
Yeah.
I'm starting to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you guys see us just jigging a ton. Get a good shot here, Mitchell, that you can use potentially for me for kind of a thumbnail here too while you're filming me. Sound good?
Sure thing, sure thing.
And you know, if we could put some of these in the boat, I'm having a good time. But obviously a lot of what we do is like big time casting bites. I used to do a ton of trolling back in the day, but there's something to be said about kind of dialing in a trolling pattern and making it happen. I mean, that is an awesome fish right there. We'll take that baby, huh? I'm pale in here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You gotta get that shot for cameraman. You gotta get that shot for cameraman. Oh, he's angry. Success, Mitchell. We're dialing her in. Dialing her in down here on Bago. Alright guys, we literally just came through a little run of sheep's head here and our 600 ripstick went back, which sheepy gonna eat that? Probably, he'll probably still eat that. But you gotta film them all because you don't know until you see them. There's gonna be a lot of these clips today where Mitchell's gonna be filming, I'm gonna be reeling it in, I'm gonna be talking. They're never gonna make the cut because on the other end of the line is gonna be a sheep's head.
They're all gonna be the best ones.
Yeah.
Best clips.
But this was my highest rod. We'll see what was going on here. Keep them on, slow and steady. We got beautiful weather, luckily. Did the fish out here like wind? Probably. I'm sure the wind is really good for structure fishing. A lot of these big, real flat lakes, they're very wind-driven systems. So I'm sure the wind plays a big part in helping you catch fish when you're on structure. Just kind of one reason we decided to start doing this, essentially just meandering basin trolling today. Yeah, it's got to be 100% sheep's head.
Yeah. Sure is.
Oh, is it a walleye? Side hook? I think it is, Mitchell.
Maybe it is, yeah.
It's a goofily hooked walleye here, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yep. The right kind.
Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. I think it's even like a keeper sized one.
It is.
It's just hooked real weird. I'm gonna scoop you up, buddy. Keep coming, keep coming. I don't want to lose too many of these today. Oh,
yeah, nice fish.
Don't do that. Come here, walleye. Come here. Oh, Mitchell. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, what's they doing?
I'm gonna take another line. There we go. All right, we got him. I somehow tagged that line. The walleye was totally burdened like that. We'll get him popped off here, though. All right, I'll give you guys a look. That's what we're talking about, baby.
There we go.
That's what we're talking about. We're kind of getting it done today, aren't we? I mean, it's only 8 in the morning. We're catching some fish. Another nice chunky 16-incher, dude. They're like warm to the touch. This is definitely the warmest water I've fished all year, 74 degrees. But I have no complaints with bagels so far. So far, our pattern is working flawlessly. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say.
Cover, basin, find walleyes, catch walleyes. There's been no concentration so far that we have found. It's been a lot of like, go quarter mile, catch one, go another quarter mile, catch one. But hopefully by the end of the day, something will set up somewhere where we get kind of a schooling effect going on. And this is the bait that caught my first walleye out here today, and that one. 600 reef runner. This bait, the cool thing about it is it really walks a lot. So it has a lot of this in and out, because it's got this banana style, it's kind of elongated and kind of this funky bill position. The bait rides kind of like this. It has a lot of this like skittering effect to it. And I absolutely love this bait on like lead core in the summer too, for like going real fast, because the bait just has that killer little dance to it. But we'll link everything we're using down below. I'm gonna strap this guy back on, send her back out there up high. They might just be all mixed up. That big wind the other day might have just kind of scattered where the fish are relating to. It might just kind of thrown them around top to bottom all over the place. It might just take a few days for it to kind of settle back out and all the fish be kind of in one depth range. All right, well, we're gonna run around and go back up to where we started. And as we kind of did this trolling pass, every time we caught a fish, I'd drop a waypoint. There's kind of one stretch where it wasn't close together, but you know, you can call it a moderately sized area where it seemed like there's the most fish. So always a good idea when you're trolling basin. And basically we're just gonna kind of loop-de-loop, troll in that area, mix up fast, slow, try to hopefully catch more fish. But not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to a lot of this basin stuff. It's just go out, look around, fish. You can kind of tell when you're in areas that got life because there's more marks on the graph. And we hope it yields more walleyes, Mitchell. We gotta up our yield today. You rolling on me, Mitchell?
Yes, man.
Another nice walleye. Oh,
I'm sure it wasn't.
I know, he was acting real weird. I'm gonna scoop him up. He's a nice fish.
Oh, good.
He's angry too. Angry. We're going through so much floating weeds. Here, bud. Oh. Look at that. Hooked myself on the rod holder. Another nice walleye though, man. That is what I'm talking about. Mitchell was relieving himself on the bow. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I didn't even grab my camera because I was like,
I didn't even say anything because we just went through a big mob of sheep's head.
Yeah, I just thought like,
I was like, ooh, we'll see. There is in fact a walleye in there with the old sheepies. Oh man, he's angry. That's what I'm talking about. Blue chrome's been hot. We've been catching fish on the ripsticks on those and on the 200s. Dude, I'm having a good time. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
I mean, these are nice fish. I honestly thought we'd be dealing with a ton of like 12, 13 inchers.
Well, these are all nice.
We haven't been dealing with any of those. We haven't caught a single one yet. Actually, that's a lie. I caught one that was like 13. And Mitch was like, you want to film it? I was like, no, we're not about that life. But look at that. That is a nice 17-inch walleye right there, would you say?
Yeah.
And we've just been going in one steady direction and bumping into structure, coming out of structure. We're catching fish, no doubt about it. I'm gonna tell you this, Mitchell, they got, versus the lakes we fish most of the time, they got a little like slime sheen on them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Good lake for swimming, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
See you later, buddy. See you later. I'm sure we've talked about kind of what we're doing, but the most part, we're just out in here in like 17 to 19 feet of water. And one thing I think people get too concerned about is, you know, when you look at something that says like, oh, it's 17 feet deep or it's 19 feet deep, I gotta have my bait diving 19 feet. When you're fishing a lot of these basin bites, that's generally not the best idea. So we're fishing little blue chrome 200 reef, and all I'm doing is sticking it back there 40, 50 feet, snapping on my snap weight, just so that I can keep everything real tight and keep it kind of in that 15, 14, 12 foot down zone and playing with it from there. There's definitely certain bodies of water where fish like a bait like grinded in the bottom. A lot of times these mud basins, I don't try to do that as much. Fish are used to being out in these basins and looking at bait up above their head. So obviously we don't have super clear water. This lake's pretty brown or tea stained with a bunch of green particle-y shit floating in here. So walleyes don't have like a ton of visibility. Or like a lot of times on a real clear lake, I'd be fine running baits 8, 9 feet up over the top of fish. So, but on lakes like this, wherever those fish are, I want to keep my bait like 2 or 3 feet up above them. And then all we're doing is obviously strapping on planer board, TX22s. These are kind of like the ultimate board in my opinion. I use these everywhere I go. Last time we used them was probably we were night fishing in April, Mitchell.
Yeah, probably.
They're ginormous walleyes, but they work good for this too. Strap that on there, let it out. This is my inside rod, so obviously I don't have to fiddle it in there anywhere in my spread. Drop it back with these snap weights. Another good tip is a lot of times you can either let it out really slow, or I'll just free fall it really fast because that weight's going to try to go down to the bottom real quick, and then I'll just reel it real fast back up into the spread like this. And that'll engage that bait obviously right away. Stick it in the rod holder, we're back in business. You're on, Mitchell. I'm literally just going to clear all the rods to check for weeds on everything. Trolling's a lot more work. It is a nice walleye too. Oh yeah, I'm chunker, dude. I'm ecstatic. I mean, I don't know these fish are big, but I'm having a good time. Anytime you're dealing with all this floating weeds like this, I mean, what you don't see is you just see us reeling in fish, but what you don't see is the 100 of hours you spend just reeling in lines, checking them, making sure there's no floating stuff on them. Real nice fish. Nice walleye. Again, on blue chrome. That is clearly what they want, isn't it?
It is. Seems to be.
Which is good because I'm just about to swap it out to another one on that side. They're liking that blue chrome. They're liking it both in the 600 series and that banana style bait, and they're liking it on these ones right here. It's an 18-incher, isn't it?
Yeah, nice fish. I'd say.
There, buddy. Where's my players at? We'll get you popped off, get you back in the water. Look at that guy. Beauties, man. We're trolling about 2 miles an hour. I think you can probably go a lot faster. A lot of times these summer dirty water fish are it's a speed thing. But it doesn't seem like we have to go that fast. 2 is kind of generally just where I like to start in the summer. That's a nice one right there. It feels rewarding to come to a new lake and catch fish on it. Could kind of develop a little pattern and get it going on. See you later, buddy. And all I ever hear is like how much crazy pressure is on this lake. All I ever hear is like how much crazy pressure is on this lake. And overall, I mean, there's not like a big mass of boats anywhere, is there? At least, obviously, big lake, but nowhere we've been. I mean, there's kind of, you'll randomly pass a guy trolling, but that's about it. All right, guys, we just took a little bit of time, reeled some stuff in, did a quick breakdown on Walleye Now. As you guys know, for the loyal Walleye Now users, we pretty much put everything we do on there, on the back end, kind of high detail. So we wanted to do kind of a Winnebago destination video. So when we came here, that was kind of a main thing. So we just filmed one. It'll be on the app, summer destination. You can look it up, Lake Winnebago. And talking all about kind of where we're fishing on the lake, what we're looking for on the graph, and then kind of talking about our brief program, which you guys have already heard some about too. So if you're fishing down here or you want to come here for the first time, that video should be a lot of help on the Walleye Now side of things. Looks like the right kind, huh?
Another shocker. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Well, I kind of just swooped everything out to the side here. Did a big S-turn, and this rod just went back. Then it kind of came back up because it was all slacky on me. This was another one on that 600, dude. And this, we're really kind of dialing in right now. Trolling's all kind of about figuring out the pattern, color, depth of the water, profile, all things like that. The color has been glaringly obvious today. That is, they like, real nice walleye here, Mitchell. They love these blue chrome baits. Anytime you're fishing a real sunny day, these chrome baits do generally seem to excel. And that is for sure the case today.
Another really nice fish.
Yeah, super nice walleye right here, man. And that is 100% what we are after. 19 incher?
Yeah.
18 and a half
18,
incher?
19.
Boom, baby. Feels good. New water, figuring it out. Beautiful, man. I'm digging it. This actually came together simpler than I thought. That's kind of a good tip. Anytime you get to a big, expansive body of water, even if all you want to do is jig fish, it pays to a lot of times just cover a lot of water, especially a situation like this where there's so much basin. In the summer, you get all the bug life happening out here. A lot of these fish push out to basin, and there you go. There's just another perfect Winnebago walleye right there. Unreal. And it's like 9 a.m. in the morning. We're just sticking it to him. We'll let that guy go. They get a free pass in the Warrior, that is for sure. But whether it's been that blue on the 200 or this color blue right here, this seems to be the deal. Now the other baits, I'm running them with snap weights on. Now this bait, we're not running on any weight. I'm just sending it back there. This bad boy will get down like 16, 18 feet, no problem without weight. And that is one reason it's super nice for this style of fishing. The other little shad baits, I got to run weight on them to kind of get them down there. But these ones, I'm running 2 of them, sticking them out on this side, and I'm running some of the snap weighted stuff, 1 here and 3 over here. But I'm sending this back to meet that same zone. So I'm sending this back 70 to 90 feet, depending on how far up or down I kind of want to stagger it. It does seem like as the morning's gone on, there's more stuff down. So this one was at 90. And if you're kind of doing this whole trolling pattern thing by yourself, one important thing to remember is, sometimes when you're running like 6 rods like this, an amount of time goes by and you kind of forget what's what and what's where. So one thing I always do is the second I take the board off, I look at the reel and I'm like, okay, that bait was 90 back. And then it lets you know to obviously duplicate that pattern and do it again, because trolling's really all about duplication, Mitchell, and a pattern. All right, I always get asked a million questions whenever I do trolling videos on trolling rods. So, as you guys know, I've been running the 2B Genesis series trolling rods for a while now. Really, there's basically 4 models. One's 11.5 feet long, one's 5.5 feet long, or 5'3". Those are kind of like specific lead coring or straight lining type of rods. The 2 generally most common ones that I use the most, the one main one is right here. This is the 8'6", we'll start on that one. 8'6" telescopic trolling rod. Now this is like a perfect board rod. You can pull lead cord. This is kind of like your jack of all trades type of rod. The nice part is they can just collapse them and put them right in your rod locker. Super simple and easy like that. This is the one that I run 99% of the time for everything, especially if I'm pulling a number of boards. They're kind of just heavy enough to hold boards, yet just soft enough in the midsection for fighting fish. So that's kind of the predominant one in which I'll use. 2B Genesis trolling rods right there. I'll link it all down below. That's one. If you're getting set up to troll for the first time, I mean, pretty much this is the rod you want to be buying right there. The other one, which I really like, this is a 7.3 or is it 7.2? It's a 7.2 moderate fast. So this is actually a glass rod, I believe, and it's super spongy right here. So I love using this rod at times where I'm like straight line trolling really fast. Or things of that nature, where there's going to be a lot of shock on the rod, because this one's even softer, strong enough to hold a board, soft enough for if you're doing a lot of that really high speed type of trolling with small crankbait hooks and fish really pounding those baits and fighting hard. So those are the 2 rods that I troll 99% of the time. Can you stick a reel on anything and troll with it? You absolutely 100% can. If you kind of want to fine tune your setup for trolling, this is the rods that I use. Oh, right there, Mitchell. Got him. He's on, boys. He's on. We were just saying how it seems like when these outside rods go off that I got the 600s on, it's never a sheep's head. It's gonna be a sheep's head now. And you guys already know that. It's feeling like a nice fish though. But that one took it back, like no question, pretty good. Nice and slow and steady. Chugging along 2 miles an hour. This big, I'm sure, generally very rough lake is flat calm. I see a day like this, and fishing structure, I'm assuming, generally gets tough. It is tempting to go up there, put the Mega Live down and cast around, but a lot of times these mud bites just get going on days like this. And we're hoping today that this is another nice walleye. If this is a walleye and he's hooked in the mouth good, it's gonna be a nice one, Mitchell. We're sitting at 19 feet. This bait was about 15 down. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Definitely a lot of weight on it.
Yeah, this has potential to be a nicer fish. It also has potential to be a 3-pound sheep's head hooked in the side.
Oh yeah, that line is pretty taut.
Yeah, she's tight. Like a piano string, Mitchell.
Need my help up here?
Nope. You just stay out of my gosh darn way, okay? With that lousy camera you got there.
Pretty lousy. About as lousy as the operator too.
I don't know.
I can't see the...
It's not twirling on me.
No, it's not. Could it be the
Could
elusive?
it be, baby? Come on. Come on. Come to daddy. I got 65 feet to go here.
That is not acting like a...
It's not. It's acting like a good walleye.
It is.
100%.
Yep.
Just don't want him to pop up to the surface and get his bait out of the water.
Man the net, get it ready. Want me to get it ready?
I mean, if you want a net one, you can. You want to even put it in troll mode here for you?
The net?
There you go. I got
Just worry about the fish. What are you doing?
Full on extension. Oh, dude, I got him hooked good.
What are you doing? Gosh.
I got him hooked good. I'll net it, or do you want to net it?
I don't care.
If it's real big, you're netting it.
I'm getting ready.
All right, I'm 35 feet away here. Please be a walleye, dude.
Even if it's a
Please be
sheep
walleye.
that I am netting this fish.
Please be a walleye. This is the one we need.
How far?
20.
20, so we should be seeing it soon. It is definitely...
I mean, dude, it feels just like a big walleye.
Yeah, it's staying down there too. I better kind of switch hands here so I don't screw this up. I don't see it yet.
He's still a ghost, huh?
Yeah. Is he dogging you yet?
It just feels like a big walleye, dude. I mean, I can't. That's the only way I can describe it. 10 feet.
Still don't see it.
Come on, babe.
Come on, be a big walleye.
Has to be.
I swear it has to be. It is. Where is it? No sighting yet. Oh, dude.
Good walleye?
Dude.
Oh my
Huge
gosh, dude, it's a
walleye.
stud.
Yeah.
It's
big.
a stud, Mitchell.
Keep coming. Keep coming. Don't panic yet.
Mitchell, you gotta get him. I don't like what you're doing.
Come on, what are you doing?
I don't like what you're doing right now. I just reeled straight in. You let him.
Dude.
You gotta take him when he's like that.
Yeah, it literally couldn't.
Oh my gosh. Now he's going nuts.
We'll get it.
Pop up right here.
We'll get it. Big walleye. Big walleye.
Real big walleye. Oh my goodness, Mitchell.
Dude. Oh my.
You're gonna cost me this fish. Yep.
What?
What do you mean, what? Anything just happened that
Yeah.
might have led to a few curse words from you?
If you guys,
How are you more mad than me?
I was gonna say, if you guys had any idea how mad I am about that, you wouldn't even believe it.
I was the one.
That was the one. That fish.
Now, I don't know how common that is out here, but I mean, from everything I know, catching an 8-pounder is not very common.
Yeah, who knows? Whether it's common or not, it was a big fish. It was well over 28 inches by my guess.
And we kind of dialed in the pattern to make it happen.
And I botched it. Totally botched it.
Botched it.
And I never, ever mess up netting a fish. Ever. But it was a combination
Okay,
of...
that's a lie. We all mess up netting fish sometimes. It's just,
Well, I just
you
did.
chose to mess up on.
I just did.
The only one I didn't want to mess up.
Well, it was a
It
combination of where
happens.
that fish came
Mitchell
in.
didn't want to put this in the video. We talked about not doing it. I said we have to put it in the video. There might
yeah,
be
'cause
some
we were-
bleeps towards the tail end
we
of
were
that clip.
blaming each other for it and everything during it, but you know, the truth is I botched it.
But we did develop a pattern that did yield to a really big bite on what looks like maybe a tough day. I don't know. But basically, we're trolling. I even put another one on since then. And this bait, the interesting thing to note is that it hasn't caught a single sheep's head.
Yeah, see that's very. If you guys fish out here, and you troll cranks and you catch tons of sheep's head with walleyes, I would buy this bait because it hasn't caught a single rough fish yet.
Yeah, no. And basically, that bait is a summertime destroyer. And I never used to fish it, and I'd always look for baits that walk. And that bait walks like crazy. I'm trying to find the other one here. This one, like Lake of the Woods speed trolling last year, was utterly insane. I mean, the bait's just like absolutely teeth marks all over the place. But this bait in a variety of colors is a monster in the summer, mainly because the shape, the profile is kind of nice, whatever, but it does a lot of this in the water column, and especially big fish are that really like provoke some kind of like predatory thing in them. Just get yourself a buddy that can net this fish as big as you catch. Not sure what else to say. We came, we saw, we did it. We came to Lake Winnebago, we caught the fish. We even had a shot at an absolute giant, yeah, which will honestly linger with me for quite some time.
I feel you. I feel you. I dropped the ball.
But anyways, we did have a good time. We came out, we figured it out, we made it happen. We also posted some good Walleye Now content from this trip. We're probably going to stay here and fish again tomorrow and just kind of piece together some more stuff for the app is kind of the plan. So you guys should have a good 2-day breakdown on there with everything we learned. But we did catch a bunch of fish, and it was kind of the original plan. It would have been fun to kind of cast around at some of these fish. But it just kind of seemed like a lot of those fish were in the basin, and trolling was kind of the video we decided to film. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It wasn't one of those, oh, just mega live casting on fish videos. It was actual full-on, had to find the fish in the basin and troll them with 2D and side imaging and lures. So everything we use in this video will be linked down below, whether that's the baits, the rods, the graphs, whatever the heck you want to call it, planer boards, all that kind of stuff. I always get a lot of those questions on trolling videos, but I appreciate you guys watching. Glad we finally came here. Glad we finally did it. Now, what now? On to the next one, baby.